Today on Click Culture, what's in the bag?
There's only one thing that we love more than eating food with chopsticks, and that's photography.
Hey, here we are on Click Culture. You know, it's the place where we bring the fun back to photography.
And a little bit of sushi.
Yeah, if you can pick it up.
Wow, I'm not doing really well today.
All right. You tell me how it tastes. So, hey, I'm Steve. This is Mark. He's got his mouth full. We are the Chopstick Guys. And we're coming to you on this show called The Click Culture. And we're going to go through the 10 things that we think every photographer should have in their camera bag and the 10 things that are in our think tank bags.
Yeah, as well as later in the show, we're going to talk about natural light versus flash.
Yep.
And how are they different?
Yeah. And we're going to answer some of your questions that you guys send in over the time. And we're also going to go through a little bit of post-processing.
Yeah, I'm going to show you today how you can get better skin tones in your post-processing.
So follow along, watch this show. We'll have a little bit more sushi as we go. All right, so we have 10 things in our camera bag that we think every photographer should have.
Wait. You only have 10 things in your camera bag?
I actually have 5.
I picked up your bag.
Show, yes.
No, you have more than
I have a
5.
lot more than that, but we're going to show 5 each things that we think every photographer should have in their camera bag. So these are the First Light 35L bags by Think Tank, which we love these bags.
This has become my everyday bag.
And you're talking about stuffing a lot of stuff in them. I can stuff a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So show me, what's your first?
Okay, so first thing is it's a 24 to 70 millimeter lens.
Every photographer needs it.
Every photographer needs a 24 to 70 millimeter lens because you know what? This is the workhorse of photography.
It is.
And you know, here's what we've been really shocked with lately is the advancement of lenses. This lens is so sharp that I don't miss shooting with a prime.
Yep.
It's that sharp, and the bokeh is beautiful on this thing. So 24 to 70, I can shoot wide, so I can shoot interior shots. I can shoot where I can get a lot more of the the background of things. Or at 70 millimeter, I can shoot a beautiful portrait.
I think it's a fun lens because you can shoot everything.
Yeah.
So super fun. Okay, number 2.
Okay, number 2. This is what I'm loving about the Think Tank bags. I love all these little dividers they have in there. But number 2 is a very simple one. Chapstick.
Oh, I like this. Let's go from the big expensive lens to the,
to the tube of chapstick. No, this will save your life when you are out all day doing a shoot.
Yeah.
There is nothing worse than having chapstick.
Oh, that is the worst.
And you know what? Don't ask to borrow my chapstick. I don't want to borrow somebody's chapstick.
Eating sushi with chapped lips is terrible. In fact, I'm going to move this while you have room to put your chapstick.
There we go. So 24 to 70, chapstick. And some of these cable management bags is another big plus. So here's one that people told me I needed for a long time, and I didn't do it. So number 3.
Number 3, yes.
Number 3 is a pen, and not just a pen.
Wow, that's
a pen.
cool. Yeah,
no, people told me for years, take a pen and wrap some gaff tape around it because you always need gaff tape. Guess what? You and I have used 3 times in the last 30 days my pin of gaff tape.
Yep.
I actually had to create a new one the other day because we used it all up. So there's always something we need to stick up, move, change.
That's great. That's a
piece of gaff tape wrapped around a pen or a pencil. And guess what? You're always having to write things. And anybody have a pen on them? But now you got a pen and gaff tape. So
that's a good one.
That's a great one. So here's another one that this one you laughed at me about. So number 4.
What you got? This is like Christmas.
Is the Manfrotto collapsible reflector.
Actually.
Yeah, you said when I got it, you kind of made fun of me and said, you are never going to use that. You don't use reflectors. But check this out. Inside this tiny little bag is this.
Oh, it works like a tent.
That works like a tent with these shot cords.
Or a magician.
And you can put these together really quickly. Right? Really, really quickly. Actually, this is actually pretty quick. It's not a matter of... People will say, I can do this a lot faster just by a regular reflector.
And whack yourself in the head. Yeah,
exactly. But here's the problem. A regular reflector, I won't carry with
it. It doesn't fit.
Because it doesn't fit in my bag. This hoop.
And you just take that little scrim.
Now I take this scrim and it's got little hooks all the way around it. And I've got myself a reflector. This again, we've used this twice in the last 30 days, both of us.
Yep.
And it has saved the day because I don't like to carry things outside of my bag.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's good. So that's number 4. What do you got for number 5?
So that's 4. My last thing is, this is what I love about these First Light backpacks. This is the very first backpack, and we've talked, I think I own like 19 backpacks now. Check out my front flap of my backpack. This pocket right here fits our most favorite piece of photography
In the world.
and that
Yes, there it
is the spider holster. I have never had a backpack that this fits inside its own compartment. A lot of times I have to throw it in there with my camera and zip everything tight. It fits just right nice in that front flap. But the spider holster, if you have not tried the spider holster, you owe it to yourself to put one of these on and don't think you know how it's going to feel, right?
So, people always laugh at us, right? They're like, oh, you guys keep saying this will change your life. You know what? This will change your life. And I don't want to steal your thunder from these are your 5, but like, I agree with you. This, if you didn't pick this would be on my list too, because
Totally.
that thing is amazing.
Yeah. So if you're tired of fighting with straps, get a spider holster.
All right. So let's go through my number 5. So first one I've got here is,
Wait a minute.
yeah.
How in the world, you have an FJ400, a full-size light inside this backpack, including you've got FJ80.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
3 lenses.
Believe me, I know what I'm carrying it. It's a little
No
heavy.
wonder it's so heavy, but
Okay, so number 1, this thing here is one of those power banks. Now, a lot of you guys have power banks, but this one I swear by. This is by Anker, and this power bank is so cool because it's got the
but I have lots of those.
but this has the MagSafe wireless charging
nice.
built into it. It's got USB-C, USB-A. It lasts forever. But here's the coolest thing. So if you travel like we do a lot on airplanes, this thing has a little stand that you can put this right here. And look at how well this is working. Sorry, let me switch it around. It's my slippery table.
This way, maybe.
Well, you can do that too. I always think watching my phone that way just because it's
Because you're thinking you're sticking your phone to it.
So that's exactly what I do. It's on an airplane. I stick it to it. I'm charging my phone as I'm watching my movie or whatever. But this thing has saved my life so much because all of our stuff nowadays is USB-C, right? So I can charge my microphones, I can charge my camera, I can charge everything right with this thing. Number 1, all right, by Anker. And we'll put the links to this stuff below into the notes. Number 2 is this.
Oh, I can't wait to see what
It's just like you just showed, but the fabulous camera case, cord holders, battery holders, but it's batteries. And you might be going, okay, batteries, but
You got a blue battery.
yes. So these batteries are made by Small Rig. These are stinking fantastic.
They are.
So these batteries have saved our hide. 1, because they last longer than the original batteries.
And I didn't believe you at the beginning when you said you got to get these batteries. They work well.
Yeah.
I was like, prove it to me.
I said, I found a battery that's superior.
When I was on my 3rd battery and you said, I still have 1 bar.
I still have a bar left. Yeah. You were like, hey, that's not fair. Okay, check this out. This is what just blows me away. These batteries have a USB-C plug on the battery. So I can charge this thing off of this.
So I don't have to carry like 3 big chargers to charge on my battery.
I just carry my USB-C cord and I can charge everything I have.
Or that.
So these are great. And they're about 35% cheaper than the OEM batteries.
But
So
they work. They just go and go and go.
they are incredible. What is this? Number 3.
Number 3. Show us number 3.
All right. I've got so much stuff in my backpack. Okay. These here, DJI wireless microphones. And you're noticing the microphone case is
It's empty.
right?
Where did they go?
I'll show you right here. So you're going to get a little bit of sound as I pull this off, but here they are. They're hidden below our little microphones. That's what we're using to record this show.
So these are the little lapel mics. You just have this little adapter that looks like a microphone that you can put them in.
Yep.
You can do interviews.
Exactly. So they're interview mics. These things are fabulous, right? So what's cool is just like a lot of the microphones nowadays, Rode has some, but I just love these DJI ones because they work and they do this really well. The case is a charging case, just like your iPods. So you put the mics back in, you put the transmitter back in, boom, all ready to go. It's got connectors to use for your cell phone, for both iPhone or for a USB-C, like an Android phone.
And I love the fact that you can either clip them or they're magnetic.
Yep.
That strong magnet that will
exactly.
close, so it makes it super easy.
Every photographer, if you do any kind of video, if you're doing any kind of social, if you're doing reels.
You do weddings and you want to mic the groom. It's an easy thing to do
So
now.
easy. So that is the next guy. You got to have these. All right. Number 4.
Number 4.
Every photographer should have a speed light.
Yes.
Is a bet. So you guys know that we love lighting, right? We're lighting guys, the chopstick guys. We do lighting. We've kind of gotten away from the speed light aspect of lighting, but we've gotten back into it lately.
Yeah.
So speed lights are incredible. Like we're going to do a whole segment actually on speed lights and not too distant people.
I used mine last night. I was so happy it was in my bag.
So this is great for run and gun, shooting on the fly. You can use it on camera, off camera. It's a necessity, right? People poo-poo speed lights because everybody's got the big monolights now, but speed light needs to be in your bag. All right, last but not least.
Drum roll.
Yes, is.
What do you got?
Okay, check this out.
That looks like a business card.
Business card. People go, that's dumb. How many times have you been approached by someone that says, hey, do you have a card? Now you can pull out and say, just pull up my Instagram. But there's something about handing somebody a very high quality card. And what happens when you hand somebody this card?
They're nice. I think you gave me, with ours, they say, I think you gave me 2.
Yeah, no, they're super thick, and we do that on purpose. They have a red line through them. They're very, very high quality cards. They're a velvet finish. The reason why we do this is because they don't get thrown away. People feel it in their pocket. It's tactile. It feels well, but people like to look at it. On our business cards, we have our personal information. I'm the other chopstick guy. Mark has his with the other chopstick guy, right? But then on the back side, it has all of our social stuff. So really, really cool. We actually have a new version of this one coming out that has QR codes, so people could scan it and let right through it. So
I have these in every one of my backpacks. I had to the other day go through because I got new packs, stick them in there because I always forget.
So if you have other things that you say every photographer should have in their bag, put them in the comment section. We love to hear about that. But I think these are the 10 things that we use all the time that we think, I wish somebody else had that, because often we see photographers that don't. So the 10 things we think everybody should have in their think tank camera bag.
That's right. So that was fun. I can't wait to hear what you guys have in your camera bag. So
what's coming up next?
So the next thing we want to do is,
pardon me. Well, yeah.
When I was looking in your backpack,
I'm having the same trouble you have.
I was noticing
it's very difficult. Whoa, man.
Ooh, you're making a mess there. So here's what I was noticing in your backpack. You had that FJ400, you had an FJ80, so you had lights in there. We're kind of known as the lighting guys, and everybody always talks about, you guys are always preaching flash, 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 flash. It's really good sushi. But the thing is that so many times on platforms like this, we see people that do comparisons. They go, well, here's what natural light does. Here's what flash does. And most of the time is they turn the flash off. They take a picture. It's all dark, right? We've done that in the past too, where we're thinking like, we got to show them the two ways. Yeah, and the first one's really bad. And you're like, yeah, of course, I would never shoot a natural light shot like that. And then you turn the light on and you go, of course, it's really good. So I think today we ought to go out and let's try to create both an incredible natural light photo and then let's try to create one with flash. Right. And we'll let you decide what you think you like best, because one's not right and one's not wrong. It's just we feel like we need people to understand that there's a difference between flash and natural light. So ready to go on a photo walk?
Do it.
So here we are out at the lake with our model Amanda today, and we are just trying to figure out the difference between shooting natural or available light and using flash. So we're going to take 2 of the same pictures using both methods. We're going to try to create a great image with natural light and a great image with flash. And we want to see which one you like better. I think I know which one I'm going to like better, but we'll leave that up to you to see which one you like better. You ready, Amanda? Let's do it. All right, let's make it happen here. So out here at the lake, I'm looking at the scene we have, right? We're actually in this open shade in this shadow area. It's kind of bright out back, and we've got this really cool tree that's actually out in the water because the lake is super full right now. So I'm kind of using that as my background just so I'm not shooting directly into nothingness, right? So let's go ahead. I'm going to shoot this first and see what we get. So actually that one came out really nicely exposed. Now when you're shooting available light, something always has to give. The thing that's giving in this case is the background, right? It's got to be blown out in order for Amanda to be exposed correctly. So when I'm using available light, like I say, something has to give. Either I'm going to expose her well, not worry about the background, or worry about the background and not expose her. Let's take another shot. I think that looked pretty good, Amanda. See how that looks here? Good. Chin up just a little bit for me. Perfect. Right there. Excellent. One more. And I think actually we got that. That one looks really, really nice for an available light shot. All right, so let's try it again with light. So this time I'm gonna turn on my flash here. Here we go. All right, we're gonna take the exact same setup. Looking good, Amanda. Here we are. Good, awesome. Liking it quite a bit. All right, so we got 3 shots of each, and I really actually, I like the, of course, with light I think is better, but again, you decide which you like. If you like that really soft blown out look, or if you like more color saturation, that's one thing, when you're using light, it will give you sharpness, saturation, and contrast. All right, so I think we hit it out of the park with those 3. Next, let's try a different scene, Amanda. You up for that? We'll just try a different look here real quick and see what we come up with. All right, so shot number 2. So found this little alcove here by the lake. I'm really liking this background, kind of this V pattern of these trees. And let's see what she looks like natural light again. Okay, you ready, Amanda? All right, looks good. Here we go. 1, 2. I'm gonna try another shot. I get down a little bit lower here. See how that looks. Yep. So same issue I'm seeing as when we're shooting in the other location is, in order to get a good exposure on her, I really have to blow everything out. She looks really good. But the background, I could be shooting anywhere at this point. I don't have to go to the lake to shoot, because all I'm seeing is Amanda and a lot of white behind her. So I'm going to go ahead and switch on my light this time. So I'm going to go ahead and just turn it on, reset everything, and see where we come up with. And this one, you know, one of the benefits of shooting this is I can actually shoot and close down my lens, so I can get whole different exposure this time. All right, you ready? Here we go. Yep. So this, I'm able to shoot. Yeah, get really dramatic pictures, incredible exposure, and I can actually now see that whole background. So now you can see that we are at the lake when we're shooting. All right, so shot number 2, same scenario. Natural light first. What do you think of that shot? Now we added light. What do you think of that shot? As we compare both of them back and forth, which one do you like better? Put it in the comments below. Love to hear it. Let's head for, we'll do one more scene. We'll hit a third one at this point. Want to try to find another one? Okay, let's go for it. So now we're in a totally different scene, and it is bright, as you can probably see from the amount of sun on my face, but we're saving Amanda's eyeballs in this case. She has blue eyes just like I do, but she's even got red hair, where I've got lots of red hair, as you can see. But no, she's got the red hair, which makes her eyes super sensitive. Always be cautious of your model or your subject if they've got blue eyes, just that they can't keep their eyes open as well in the sun. That was a little extra bonus tip. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to use the sun as our second light. We're going to backlight Amanda, and I'm going to shoot directly into the sun and get just this really dreamy look using natural light. So I think it should look pretty good natural, and then it'll be interesting to see what happens when we just give her a good punch of flash on the second shot. So you ready? All right, so let's go ahead and we'll shoot this one first, natural light. I really love this scene. The background, Amanda, looks beautiful. One more here. Good, good, good. So in this one where I backlit her, I can actually get a little bit more of the details in the background rather than shooting in the same direction of the sun where I was blowing everything out in the background. But I want to touch by just adding some light here. And I'm going to actually give her a pretty good wallop of light and see what happens in this case. So same thing. Here we go. And 1, 2, 3. Good. Love it. So it's really neat. What I'm getting is this great, great glow behind her, and I see fantastic background. I'm shooting at 4.5 right now, so but I think it looks really good. Okay, we're gonna open up our eyes nice and wide on this one, Amanda, on 3. Ready? And 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Good. One more. Fantastic. So I think we got our shot there, and I think it looks great. All right, so we did 3 different scenarios, all with natural light and all with flash. Now, I know which ones I think I like better just looking at the back of the camera. I'll be interested to see what happens when I get back to the computer. I want to know what you think. One is not better than the other. They're just really, really different. So if you think you like natural light or the available light, let us know in the comments below. If you think you like the flash, let us know in the comments below. But I really want to know what you think is the best way to shoot.
Okay, so I got to ask you, which did you like better?
You know what? I actually prefer the flash, but I like the natural light as well.
I think they both look good, right? And that, I mean, we set out to create a great image, both natural light and with flash.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to personal preference. Again, we'd love to hear your comments. Which picture do you think looked best? Natural light or with flash?
And probably the better way to ask it is, which one is your favorite? Not which one's best, because they're both.
Because if it's my picture,
Exactly.
if that's the one you took.
That's right. Then it's better.
Yeah, exactly. So what you got going on?
Hey, so speaking of what we like, about flash, is one of the big things is that it adds color, I think.
Yeah.
Lots of color. But that seems to be a problem with a lot of photographers, is getting skin tones
All the time.
Yeah. So I'm going to take you to the editing bay, and we're going to talk about an easy way to get really good skin tones.
Awesome.
All right. So I'm going to show you how to get better skin tones. This isn't the only way to do it. I just want to show you a really simple way that you can improve your skin tones. So what you're going to do is you're going to go in Photoshop to your layers panel. On the bottom right, it says layers. If you go all the way to the bottom where your adjustment layers are, you're going to see this half black, half white circle. You're going to click on that, and you're going to find color balance. And I'm going to click on color balance, which is going to give me a color balance adjustment layer. And if I look up here into my properties panel, it's going to say tones, midtones. That's what's going to be selected generally by default. I'm going to say highlights. I'm going to start with my highlights first. And when I go to work on an image, especially skin, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to zoom in all the way to the face. I don't want to see the rest of the image. I'm just trying to figure out the skin. So this is a picture of our friend Tristy, who is our model in Hawaii. We were during PhotoCon Hawaii this year doing a number of workshops and photo walks, and Tristy was our model for many of them. So we're going to go ahead and fix the color cast on her skin. It looks pretty good right now, but I think we can make it a lot better. So here's what we're going to do. We've selected the highlights, and we're just going to work from top to bottom, and I'm going to add a little bit of red there, and I'm going to just kind of back it off. Now, I'm not trying to fix her skin. What I'm trying to look at is just by her cheeks, these very bright highlights. So I don't want to give it too much. I'm going to throw a little magenta in there. I think that will kind of pink up that skin a little bit. Let's add and subtract. I think maybe right about there. Nah, it's a little too much. Right about there. So now these highlights have gotten a little bit of color into them. So I'm going to move on next to my midtones. Same thing. Now's when I'm going to kind of make the major adjustment to the skin. And that is, a little bit of red there. Let's maybe add or subtract. Let's see. I think right about there. What you're going to notice is most of the things that I'm doing, look at +3, -1. I mean, generally not going more than 5 points in either direction. It's usually just tiny amounts make a giant change. So we're going to go ahead and play with our blue slider. I think if we add a little bit of blue there, that's probably right about there. 4. Then I'm going to move on to my shadows. And inside my shadows, generally it's a lot of just throwing first a little bit of blue, a little bit of cyan into my shadows, till they feel a little neutral. It's just a neutral black. And then generally what happens is we either have a magenta cast or a green cast in our shadows. So see, I have green, magenta. They show up pretty well. So I'm just going to play a couple points in each direction and kind of see what it needs. I think it has kind of a green cast already to it. So I'm just going to go 3 points in that direction, and I think that looks pretty good. So here's what I want to show you is we're going to go ahead and shut this layer off, and I'm going to show you the before. So that's the before. My brain did not see this yellowish green cast. It looked like it was pretty close to the right skin tones, but by doing this color balance method, look what I've done. I've created a skin tone that looks pretty close to how I remember Tristy's skin tone looking. I'm going to go ahead and back off now, and we're going to look at the entire image. I will turn that off, and you're going to see that there's a green cast on the entire image. We stare at our images sometimes so much we don't even notice it. So I'm going to turn my new adjustment layer on, and Look at how beautiful that is. I may have a little bit too much in the magenta, but I can always go back and readjust those. But or I can turn the opacity of my layer off or down. So that's what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn that down a little bit, and I can see my before and my after. I think this is a very quick, easy way to get very good skin tones.
All right, so we've talked before about the 10 things we think every photographer should have in their camera bag.
Yep.
But those weren't necessarily the things we love. We think they're important to have in your camera bag because I don't know if you love chapstick as much as
I don't.
you might love. So we're going to do a brand new segment here on Click Culture, and that is stuff we love.
Oh.
So let's take a trip down memory lane and talk about something that we used to struggle with.
Yeah, so for years, I have owned a Paul C. Buff light stand for over 12 years.
It's a great stand.
And I've still been using it up until about 6 months ago, and I've sworn by it because it has never failed me.
Well, I've started to swear at it because it's been frustrating.
But this is one of those things where you don't know what you have, or you don't know the struggle you're in until it's taken away.
That's right. So let's show you some of the stuff we love. So remember the other day when we were out and we were talking about your stand issue and how you kept the legs open and it was knocking into things and you were arguing with your legs to try to get it.
I'm just tired of fighting those things.
Man, that was
so
the stuff we love.
So I didn't even know that I love cheetah stand because I've never owned a cheetah stand. But you're right. The other day I didn't have one. And I just cursed the whole day of not having that stand.
You did, and you never cursed, but you were cursing the whole day. No, it was true because, like, we argued, for a lack of a better word, like we argued with your stand. Like we couldn't get the legs to go down, and then we pick it up. And that day we were always on the move.
And carrying it with the legs open, how many times did I hook things? Did I bump into people? And I'm one that I just kind of get in my own little world, and I'm spinning around and knocking things over. But man, I was missing this.
No, so the big thing about the cheetah stand, this is why we love the stand.
That's right. The auto collapsing.
Because of that. It's auto collapsing. You lift it up, the legs retract, put it down, the legs expand.
Yeah.
That's
it.
The thing.
It
right?
is.
I mean, there's a couple of things that I like about it, but like that alone, pick it up again. Like if you
that sells it right there.
And if you walk away, it's
easy to just pick it up and walk away. So
right. So I mean, I don't know. You can come back. I don't know how far out you're going, but I guess that's really, I guess he's just going to keep walking. So that's really it. You can just pick it up, walk away, legs retracting, and there he goes back to the car. So apparently we're done with this review, but cheetah stand, stuff we love. It's the thing.
Hey, I'm back. Did you miss me?
Yes, terribly. Thought you were leaving me far behind.
I forgot to mention, one of the other things that we love about this stand is because it has such a low center of gravity, this thing is almost impossible to knock over.
Yes. So it's that spread of legs plus that center of gravity because the pole on the bottom goes all the way down to ground level.
That's right. I have yet to have one of these fall over. You had one fall over the other night, but it was your own fault.
It was totally my fault. It's because I was on uneven ground, right?
Exactly.
And it would have tipped over no matter what I'm using. The sandbag and everything. But that's the big thing. So those retractable legs, the fact that it's super, super stable. And this one being a 12, it's 12 feet tall. It's really tall.
So you might not know that you need a cheetah stand, but you use this for a day, you're going to find out I needed a cheetah stand.
Yes, and it'll become stuff you love, not just stuff we love.
Fortunate questions.
All right, one of our favorite times. It's time to eat a little sushi, but it's fortunate question time.
For me, it's dessert time.
Yeah, it's fortunate question with the chopsticks. Yes. What do you have today?
So let's see what we got here.
Making a mess again. I'm glad we said the studio making a mess.
Oh, no. I think I just ripped. I did. Hopefully, that's not an important part of.
What? That's a super size.
It is.
Wow, I mean, I've never seen a fortune that
okay.
long.
Who's
it from?
This is from Diana from Napa.
Oh, okay.
Is a teleconverter worth getting to make my 200 millimeter lens a 400 millimeter lens without, here's the piece that I ripped, buying a new expensive lens?
I don't know. You know?
You know what? I don't use teleconverters because,
or big expensive lenses.
Exactly, because it's just not what we do. But here's what I do know. I do know that when you use a teleconverter, not only does it extend the distance, but you lose light
Yeah.
So, you're going to take that 2.8 lens and with a 2-time teleextender, you're probably going to turn that into like a 4 or a 5.6. So, you're going to have to let more light in. But most of our friends that are bird photographers, they love shooting those things. I wished I had a better answer.
Yeah. I mean, that's all. It's hard to speak to that one because as mostly portrait guys, we don't shoot a lot of birds. We don't shoot a lot of that kind of stuff. So if you know the answer to the fortunate question for Diana, fill that in the comments below. Diana can see them. But for us, like I have lots of friends that use them.
Yep.
They swear by them. In fact, on their big 600 millimeter lenses, they'll put a teleconverter on there a lot of times to make it.
And these are high-end bird photographers. Yeah. And so I got to say, I don't know. Because you're asking specifically at 200. So I'm thinking somebody with a 70 to 200. Right. I don't know. I think you're probably better off going to a better lens built just for that.
Yeah, but think of this. Okay, I have a 7200 right now. Let's talk about Diana. Okay, if she has a 7200,
okay,
she can either spend $250 to get a teleconverter.
Yep,
or
a good one, the right one.
Or she can spend a couple $1,000s to get a new lens. I think I would try the teleconverter first.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
You can't even rent one for $200. So
yeah, well, you can rent a teleconverter.
I'm not telling, but I'm saying that lens, that big lens.
Yeah,
so
lens, yeah,
it's worth it. So try it.
My vote. What do you vote?
I'm going to vote yes. Go get a teleconverter.
Teleconverter. That's what I would do. I would teleconvert at this point.
Well, I think we're coming to the end of Click Culture.
Yes, if you've hung on this long, congratulations. Welcome to the party, the club, whatever we want to say.
Yeah.
But Click Culture, hopefully you found that we did bring the fun back to photography today.
And a lot of the stuff that we talked about today, not all of it, but we do have links below if you're interested in things like Westcott or Think Tank backpacks.
Yep.
Go look at their
Chief stand.
Cheetah stands.
We love, yes.
And either there below or go to our website and we've got a section called Stuff We Love. And it helps us continue doing this.
To be sponsored soon by a vacuum company. The way Mark always opens up his fortune cookie and just explodes it all over the studio floor here. But until next time, we want to say, don't forget. I will say, don't forget.
Okay. Don't be lazy.
There you go. Nutritious. I think I'm going to have some more sushi.
Oh, that's disgusting.
There it is. Look at that. Oh, look at that.
Can you pick up that piece of mango, though?
Can you pick up some of the dirt?